All right, so let's get into it. So our task here is to identify the general trend of the market and then to know where we are going to join the move. It is important for us to know when the market is continuing a trend and when it is performing a retest or when it is retracing. Okay, it's very important we know that so that when we take a sell, we know that this sell is a retracement or it is a continuation of a trend. Okay, if that's the case, you know exactly how to approach it. Okay, so that is what we are going to look at. So I think I have about five markets here. I wanted six. I'll try and see if I'll get the sixth one that we will look at. Okay, so the first one is USD CHF. USD CHF. Let me, okay. I want to remove all the drawings from the chat. Okay. So we are going to apply what we call the 5 second rule. So by 5 second rule, what we mean is that whenever you open the chart, under 5 seconds, you should be able to tell the trend of the market. If you have to think above 5 seconds, it means the market is consolidating, or it means the trend is not properly aligned. So leave that market, go and find another market. That's the reason why we have several markets available. So you can choose from any of them. Okay. So within 5 seconds, you should be able to tell the trend of the market. If you are not able to tell the trend of the market, let it go. It means that it's not properly trending. Okay, that is it. So we are going to try that here. So what do we think is the trend of this market within 5 seconds? Let us type in the chat box. What do we think is the trend of this market? Let's put it in the chat box. Yeah, I'm here. I want to see. Okay, okay, okay. So I have two people saying that this is a downtrend. Um, Anybody with a different perspective? Okay, so Isaac says it's a sell trend. Yaya also says it's a downtrend. Is it Desire also said it's a downtrend. Bruce is also saying it's a downtrend. And then I want to believe that all of us are seeing the same thing. So if you are seeing a different thing, tell us so that we will help you. Okay, so yes, I'm also seeing a downtrend, and I believe that a majority of traders will also say that this is what a sell trending market. So the first part is gone. So the 5 minutes rule. So we are deploying the 5 minutes rule. Okay. That is to identify the trend under 5 minutes. Then the next thing that you are going to look for is for to identify the highs and lows. Okay. The swing highs and then the swing lows. You have to identify these things. Then another, there should be a BOS. Okay, there should be a BOS. Then you are done. If you're able to identify these things, you are done. Okay, so let us try and then see how we are going to analyze this market. So this is it. You can choose to do the analysis on the daily time frame. You can choose to do it on H4. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, the H4 aligns with the daily time frame. So you can choose to do it on any of the two time frames. All right. So here, this is the thing. When a market is selling, okay, this part is already gone. This part is already gone. We didn't meet it. We have met the current chart here. And we are interested in the current chart because that is what we are going to trade in. That's what we are going to trade. So I mean that we are going to identify the previous high and the previous lows. That's what we are looking for. Okay, the previous high and then the previous lows. That is what we are interested in. So it was dropping. So this serves as what? A lower high. So I'm interested in this. This served as a lower high. I'm interested in this one. And then what is the highest or the lowest low on the chart, which is what we have here. This is the lowest point on the chart. Once you are able to spot this, try and see if the market was able to take out the previous low. Okay, that's the break of structure. Try and see if that happened because we are in a downtrend. Okay, so when we reverse it, that is for an uptrend. And then we can see that, of course, so there was a break of structure right here. Sorry, my cursor is not stable. Yeah, I'm using the mouse and it's not stable. And let's take it like this. So we could see that this low took out this one. Okay. So now this has become the most current low. And then there is the break of structure right here. Okay, price broke this structure. So that one has happened. So first, we were able to identify that this was a downtrend under 5 seconds. And then we have also been able to identify the lower high and then the lower low, or we've been able to identify the swing points. Okay. The next thing that you do is to know your trading range. The next thing that you are going to do is to know your trading range. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to mark this high and then also I'm going to mark this low. And then when I do that, what we have here has now become my trading range. What I have here has now become my trading range. So remember I said that we met the market here. What has happened here is already gone. This is what we are interested in. What is happening now? And it is important for us to know the range, okay, the trading range. And this is what this becomes our trading range. So what do we expect to happen? Now, remember we said that the market is in a downtrend, so it is selling. If that is the case, then our expectation is that price will continue to push up, and then when it comes here, we would expect it to what? Drop. That will be our expectation. So let us see how this structure looks like on the 4 hour time frame. All right. So let me just delete this. So I did this on the this is on the daily time frame, but when we come here, we can adjust it properly. Okay. So we have our 4 hour block here. The supply zone, we have it here. And then we have this demand also here. All right. So we have it here. We have the break of structure happened here. So all that we are waiting for now is to wait for price to move into this. Okay. So for price to move into this, give us like there should be a shift in direction. And then when price comes back, you join price to the bottom. Okay. So ideally, if by the time I drew this, if I was following this, what I can do is that I can be trading this range, okay, until it gets here. But then for me, because I know the general trend is what? A downtrend. This one I'll be scalping. I'm not going to hold it. So I'll be scalping. I'll look for scalping opportunities from here all the way here. So I'll be scalping it maybe on within 15 minutes. Okay. I'll be scalping until I get here. Then when the market finally taps into the demand zone and then there is a market structure shift, then upon a retest, I'll look for an entry and then boom, I join it all the way to the bottom. Remember, we are still not going to trade on the 4 hour time frame. So we will then break it down, okay, to the lower time frame. So personally, I trade on 15 minutes. So if you know how, if you identify any valid order block on 15 minutes or maybe a fair value gap or any of that, you can use that as your entry. Okay, then you join it from here. So when I'm trading this, I know that I am taking advantage of what? A retracement. When I'm trading this, I know I am now trading in line with what? The trend. So for this trade, I can hold it for a while. When I enter this, I can hold it for a while. But if I am to take any opportunity here, I'm only going to hold it for a short period of time. I mean, I'm going to scalp. But then for this one, I will hold it for a long time until maybe it finally clears this one or it taps this zone and then I'll be out of the market. Okay, so this is what I am going to do on this chart. This is something that we have been applying. And then I think the other time I shared um a trade that I took on 51x on the platform. So I use the same idea. Now I'll show you an example. This yesterday to I picked a trade on 101x, and as we are speaking, it's still in session. I'll show you how I did the analysis and then how I picked it. But it's the same idea. That's why I said that most of you may even know this thing already. But then I don't give any name to it because, I have combined a lot of things together. So you may be seeing your idea here. Fine. That's the same thing. Okay. So long as it's price action, we should all be seeing the same thing. All right. Yeah. So that is what I will do here. I want to believe that this is okay. So we will look at the second market. I think I have five here. We are going to look at the second market. By the time we get to the third, I think it will be very clear. Okay. All right. So the next one that I want us to look at is GBP. Sorry, GBP, JPY. Okay. Okay. So I have GBP, JPY here. Let me go back to the daily time frame. So what do we see here? Under 5 seconds, we should be able to tell the trend of this market. We should be able to tell the trend of this market. Let's try that. What's the trend of this market? Under 5 seconds. If it takes more than 5 seconds, it means that we are either struggling with the trend or the market is not properly trending. Okay. So Yaya is saying this is an uptrend. Who agrees with him? Bruce also thinks it's an uptrend. Okay, so none of us thinks that the market is consolidating. We all agreeing that this is an uptrend? Is that the case? Okay, so I have three people confirming that it is an uptrend. So I also agree that it is an uptrend because market has created series of higher highs and higher lows, and we can identify them. Okay, we can identify the higher highs and the higher lows here. All right. Once we've been able to identify them, what do we have to do next? Under 5 seconds, we were able to tell the trend of the market. The next thing that we do is to identify the swing high and then the swing low. That's what we are going to do. This is also on the daily time frame. Like I mentioned, you can use the 4 hours to do it also. Sometimes some of the charts it looks nice on the 4 hour, so you'll see that in some cases I'll be using that instead of the daily time frame. Yeah, so I've been able to identify my swing point. The next thing is to check if there was what a break of structure, so I know that the range that I have identified is correct. And of course we can see that there was a break of structure here. This thing is disturbing. Sorry about that. Yeah. So there was a break of structure here. Okay. Price broke this structure. So one, I've been able to tell the trend. Two, I've been able to identify the swing point, the swing high, and then the swing low. The next thing that I have to do is to define or identify my trading range. So this is what I'm going to do. I will, this is what an uptrend. So I want to trade from here, or I mean that I'm targeting this range. I'm targeting this range. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Now let me go to 4 hours and see what's happened over there. Okay, so on 4 hours, sorry, on 4 hours is the question. Oh, somebody said my screen is not visible. Is it to everyone or just him? It might be. Okay, okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, so I think I'm live now. Okay, so now we are back to 4 hours. So we are going to adjust it to suit the 4 hour level. And so I have this level here. I think it's almost the same as what we did over there. And then yes, I have this one here as well. This, yeah, I have this one here. So I can take this off. The break of structure has already happened. Yeah. So now this becomes what? My trading range. Okay. This becomes my trading range. So what I'm waiting for is for price to what? Do whatever it will do. I don't care. It can do whatever it wants to do. But then when it comes here, I would expect price to what? Move up and then boom, we come all the way to the top. That will be my expectation. Okay. But then over here, I want to show you something else. You see that price is not far from the supply zone. It means that we can actually take advantage of the sales even as it goes. Okay, we can take advantage of the sales even as it goes. But now let's look at something. You see that when price broke out from here, it didn't retest this level. So there is a possibility we will have price moving back before it starts to sell again. Somebody may want to, trade this block right here. Somebody will mark this one and then try to trade this block. But then you see that when price broke out, because it didn't go back to the block before it sold, it means that if it should reverse from here, it will look at clearing all the liquidity around this level, all the liquidities here. It will clear all of that before it will eventually sell. So it will be proper or ideal that you rather join from here. Okay, so it can do that. It can touch it and then, keep on selling until we get here before we move all the way to the top. Okay, so I mean to say that if we want to take advantage of the retracement, we want to take advantage of the sales, that is how we can target it. So I can wait here when there is a pullback. I'll look for an entry on the 15 minutes. In fact, for the entry, you are doing the right thing. I've been following it on the platform, just like I said. The blocks and then the fair value gaps, all the things that you identify, they are all solid. So if you're able to identify the trading range and then you add it to it, I think that you'll be good to go. Okay. So that is also how I am going to analyze this market. I want to believe that it is clear. All right, so let's look at the third one. We are almost through. Then if you have any question, you can bring it. So I have AUD USD here, AUD USD. Okay. Hmm. Well, let me go to the daily time frame. Hmm. Good. So I'm on the daily time frame and then I want to ask, what is the trend of this market? What is the trend of this market? Yes. Talk to me. I want to know. Okay. Yeah, I saying it's an uptrend. Are we all seeing the same thing? I ask because somebody may think it is consolidating. That's why, so that we would explain it together. Okay, I know that you know the trend. Who also agrees that it is an uptrend? Or does anybody have a different idea? If you do, let us know. Okay, that's fine. So it is an uptrend. And the 5 seconds, we've been able to tell that it is an uptrend. The next thing that we are going to do is to be able to identify the swing points. Okay, we have to identify the swing points. So the same way, I'm going to look at the swing high here. Then I'm going to look at this swing low. Sorry. My cursor is disturbing. Okay. So I identify these swing points here. And then there should be a break of structure. So that swing high should take out the previous high so that, we can confirm that there was a break of structure and then we can see that here. Yeah, yeah. So we see this break of structure here too. Okay, so it means that this is valid. We just have to identify our trading range. Okay. So I can draw my trading range here. And then for a proper view, I will zoom to the 4 hours. Okay. So good, 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 good. So I'm now on the 4 hour time frame and then I see that okay. So my OB here aligns with the daily zone. So I can also target just this OB here. Okay, can target that. So what am I waiting for? It's almost through, so I'll just wait for it to do whatever it will do until it taps here. And then upon a shift in structure, boom, I'll join the market all the way to the top. Okay, so first you'll be able to identify the direction, then you know your trading range. That's very important. So when you take a buy, you know exactly where you are targeting. Also, if you are to take a sell, you know where you are targeting. Okay. Yeah, so if you're a day trader, you should know how to do some of these things. What we learned the other time is purposely for swing traders. Okay. Yeah, because for them, they are going to hold their trade for a long time. And then we are not looking to do that. Okay, so this is the third market that we have looked at. Um, think there is another one. Is it USDT dot? Is it DOT dot T? What is it? Think it's a crypto. Okay, yeah. So the same way, I'll go here. We just want to do more of the practice so that we will understand it better. That's why we are doing all this. Okay, so yes, for the sake of time, I am seeing a downtrend, and I believe that we are all seeing the same thing because markets has created lower highs here, lower highs here, and then lower lows right here, lower lows right here. So I know that this is a downtrend. Okay, so I'm just going to look for my point of interest or the range of interest where I want to be trading. So I identify this, identify that high there, and then I also see. Yeah, I also see this low here. And then this low formed as a result of what? The break of structure here. So you see the reason why I didn't mark this is because this has not taken off this structure. So and it hasn't this is the lowest point, so we can't consider this to be our swing low. So this is an ideal swing point here. What do I do? I now, okay, so there was a break of structure here. I hope you can see that right from here. So this my cursor. Sorry about that. There was a break of structure here. So now all I have to do is to mark my zone, my trading range. This thing is disturbing. Yeah. Okay, I have this daily order block here. Okay. And then what we were waiting for, this has even happened already. So you see, right from there, it sold all the way into the block and then boom, it's going all the way to the top. So this one has already happened. But I think on the H4, so because it has happened in the daily time frame, you can actually look for break of structure, and then the drop. Now this gave us a perfect retest here, so we can mark this order block and then join from here. So ideally, we could have joined the trade from here, boom, and then all the way to the top. We would enjoy that. Okay, okay. So this is H4. So ideally, we have to adjust this to suit it properly. So this becomes our order block. So that is the target point. So if I'm to take my entry from here, if I am to take my entry from here with my stop right below that, my take profit is all the way to the top. 2.75, almost 3. I think that is cool. Yeah, this is a risk that I would want to take. And then even if you break this further, you may even reduce the risk more because this is H4. Remember, you can enter on 15 minutes to reduce the risk. Yeah. So that is basically what I would do. All right. So let us look at the last market. That is what I said that I'm trading. And then when I'm done, I'll show you where I picked my entry and then where it is at the moment. Right. So this is, let me even zoom up so you see. Zoom out so you see. So what do we think is the trend of this market? This is what an uptrend because market has formed series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows as it goes. All right. So we have all these here. What do we have to do? We have to be able to spot the swing points. So on the daily time frame, you see that this one is more scattered. So I'll prefer to do this on the daily time frame. Sorry, the 4 hour time frame. But still, it's still the same because this is my swing high, and then I have my swing low right here. I have my swing low right here, so I can still do it. But let's go to 4 hours so it will be clear. Okay, right. So this is what I used for this trade. I have it here, my swing high, and then this was my swing low. Okay, this was my swing low, and then you see that this one took out the lows here. So this was my target. So ideally, this will be my trading range. I have the OB here, and you see that it is affecting the market already. But then I'm anticipating for, and then I have this OB right here. Sorry, let me use this one. Yes, I have this right here. Now, I saw that it's very likely price will not get into my demand zone. The reason was that you see when price was going up, it left this OB right here and then it didn't properly test it before it went up. It didn't do that. So when it was coming down, I knew that price could react to this before, and then it can bounce out. And then this is a what do you call it? A clear order block that can take price away. So I choose to enter from here instead of waiting for price down here. But this is the thing, because we have this OB. a little bit closer to the levels, price may decide to come back down to test this before the actual move will happen. But then this is where I caught the buy. And then as it stands, I'm still holding the trade. And then with just I will send that to the group so you can check it out. Mm. Yeah, so I got this trade and I'm still in it. I sent it to some of my students, and then those who took it, they are also in good profit. Yeah, I think it's here. This is it. I was going to send it to the group. This is it. See, I took the screenshot just now. So I'm still holding it. All right, I picked after when price tapped into this block, I looked for an entry on 50 minutes and then I joined from there. And as you can see, I'm still holding it. I was hoping that it would break this. I didn't look at it. I'll just take my profit and then wait to see if it will drop back to this. Then I'll join again. Or if it breaks this, you know that it has to create another high so that this one will become our new swing low. Okay. Like it will create another high. A minute. It will go, create another high. This will now become our new swing low. We'll wait for it to tap in and then we'll join again all the way to the top. I We can also track it to the left to see exactly where the sell will happen. Unfortunately, Deriv didn't provide the entire data for this chart, so we can't do that. We can't see the data at this far corner. So we can't know exactly where the sell is going to happen. But you can check on MetaTrader 5. You will know exactly where this sell will happen. And then you wait for it here. Then you join. How do you do that? That is what we learned with AB the other time. Okay. So wait for price to drop back into it and then we join the buy. It has to buy for a very long time, so you can take advantage of it. But this is how you are going to look at it. Okay, so the 5 minutes rule, you should be able to tell the trend of the market in, sorry, 5 seconds. 5 seconds rule, you should be able to tell the trend of the market in 5 seconds. And then you should be able to identify the swing points, the swing lows and the swing highs. Then again, what do? You mark your range, the trading range. Then you can zoom to the 4 hours to see it proper. Okay. You can also break it down further. I think sometimes you can even use 1 hour to identify some of these things. And then you wait for price to trade into your range and then boom, you join the trend to whether the upside or the downside. So basically this is how I do the analysis. So if I'm going to scalp I am going to scalp. So for this one, like I would have scalped the cells, okay. But then for the buys, I know that now I'm in the direction of the market, so I can hold it for a while. That's why I'm still holding the trade because I took it yesterday. I think yesterday in the evening. That's when I took it. But I'm still holding it, okay. But for the cells, I'll just scalp it. So this is how I do my analysis and then how I take my trades. I want to believe that this is very clear. Okay. That's why I did 5 examples. So if you have any question related to just what we have looked at now, you can ask and I'll take my time to explain. I'm going to stop the recording now.